Hi, it's and welcome back to my channel for another bullet journal video, and today is 8 minimalist weekly spread layout to give you some inspiration to make your own weekly spreads. If you're interested in any of the materials that I will be using in this video, I will link everything in the description box down below. And my notebook is a Dingbat notebook, and I have an affiliate link. If you are interested in getting one and supporting my channel, I would highly appreciate that. And I will also be putting the code OA10, which is to get 10% off your next order. Without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. So I made 8 different weekly spread. I have some of them that are for one page and some of them are double spread layouts, so you can get some inspiration if that's what you're looking for. So this first one is a really simple one that I did with dividing the page into 2. On the left side I have an event section, which is just made by a line which is 1 square wide, and I have 7 of those, and in between there is 2 boxes to put your events. And then I have on the inner side of the page boxes. I have 3 for 3 days, and I did a little calligraphic style lettering to put the name of each day, and I used the starting point of the letter and the ending point to make the line that goes all around the box. And then I rounded the edges to make everything feels a little bit more cohesive and just put together. It's a spread that really doesn't take any skills to make, and even if you are not really good at making lettering or anything like that, you can easily replace it with just your normal handwriting and just using cursives, and you can just make this style even if you're a beginner. And then I used a little pop of color just to make the spread a little bit more appealing to the eyes by filling in the event section with a light blue. I did a strike of color at the top of the spread and added the numbers of each day in the same light blue. Both of the pens that I will be using to make the colors, which I only used 2 in this video, will be linked below. They are my Tombow dual brush markers, and if I remember, I will put on the screen what number they are. Also, I forgot to mention that this journal is not my main journal, and if you want to see that one and the setups that I normally make, you can check out my channel for all those ones, or you can check out my other social medias, which will be in the description box down below if you want to see more daily updates and a little bit more content. So this next weekly spread is a 1-page spread, which is really useful if you don't have that much to write and you also maybe don't have as many pages in your notebook. That's usually what I use it for, is when I don't have enough space left or I have a really small week ahead. So basically what I did is in the right corner I added a tiny calendar, which is something that I do a lot to keep track of where I am in the month. It is obviously not filled out because I was just using February as an example, but it's there's not enough weeks to put 8 weekly spreads in it. And then next to the calendar on the right side, on the left side, I have a priority section, and you would basically just put everything that is a priority for your week. So anything that is really important, and then you have the daily sections at the bottom, 3 on each side and 1 for the weekend, which would be used to have maybe more events if you don't have any to-do list or anything like that. And then we are already onto the next weekly spread, which is another one-page spread, obviously, because it's on the other side. And this one I am starting with an event section at the top of the left side of the page, which I did a really small, and just to have 1 or 2 events per day. And that was the way to have a little bit more free space to have to-dos for the days. So I basically did next to it 6 boxes for each one of the days, and then a bigger one for the weekend at the bottom next to the calendar spread. And I also have a priority section to be sure that anything that is urgent to do but doesn't have a specific day still gets done. The priority one is at the top of the right side, and to make a difference between the other ones, I will color it in the darker color, and the rest of them will be in the lighter shade. And for the event section, I basically have a little section at the top of 2 squares that is not used. It is just to have the header, which I just did in cursive using the same method I did for the first weekly spread. And then I made 3 boxes wide little sections for each one of the days, so you would have space to put all of your events or anything really important for that day. The last couple things I did was to just put a bit of color and write the week. Normally after a week I would put the number of the week. There's 2 different methods to do that. You can calculate from the start of the year, so the first week of January, and then going on until the end of the year. For me, what I personally do as a high school student is to write what week it is with the week inside of the school year. So basically I start with the first week of the school year and going on until the first week of the next year. Sorry, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's the way I do it. But we are already onto the fourth weekly spread. Oh my gosh, it's going so fast. But this one is something that I never tried before, but I thought why not do it and try something new. And it is a double spread weekly, but with a to-do list, which is a running to-do list on the side. Basically I have the daily and the event on the left section, with obviously my little calendar that I do every time, and on that side I have the mini calendar, and underneath it the event section, which is the exact same way I did on the last page, except I have 1 square column on the side that I colored in to have to just say what day it is. And then I just did some cursive style lettering for the daily. I just did a line of color, and it is, I think, 40 centimeters in between each day. I'm not sure if that's correct or not. I don't remember exactly. And then on the other side of the spread, I did just did a line at the top and a line going down, and on the right section I have the days of a week. So you would put the to-do on underneath the master to-do list, and then you would put for what day it is, or just for the week, or something like that. And that's basically something that is really practical if you have a lot of to-dos but not a specific day that you would have to do them. So yeah. Also, I'm sorry for the lighting. Since it's the winter, I was doing this and it was getting pretty dark. So I will be trying to edit it as best as I can so it still looks good, but unfortunately I was losing the sunlight and I was recording only with my ring lights, so the quality is not the best that I could do. But basically we are on to the next weekly spread. This one is a full 2-page spread that I did with using 3 columns on each page, and each column is 30 centimeters wide, and I just did a little flag at the top and wrote the first 3 letters of the day, and inside the flag I will be putting the date that it is. For every single one I used the numbers, like it would be the first week of the month using February, and I divided those boxes into 2, one being for events, so the upper part is for events, and then the lower section would be for to-dos or anything else that you might need. Also, sorry for my head popping here and there. I thought I did a better job than that covering it, but it doesn't matter, it's not that bad. And then at the bottom, from what is Monday, I did my mini calendar as always and wrote underneath it what week it is. And then on the right side of the page, I went all the way through Saturday since there are only 6 days. So at the bottom, I added a box for Sunday, which is horizontal except instead of vertical like the other ones, but it's actually pretty good. So you have the same space. I just didn't do the event section since it's Sunday and you normally don't have appointments, so I did that, and I basically just have space for the to-dos, and it also filled the space at the bottom, which I think is pretty good. What you're seeing me now do is just add the little details to finish the spread and just having it all done, and that's pretty much it for this one. Really easy. I think it took me no more than like 5 to 8 minutes to make it, so it's really easy to do if you don't have that much time. Next we have 2 more 1-page spread. So this one I did a complete box for on the inner side of the page that I divided into 2.5 centimeters boxes, so it would be 5 squares. And then I just did a little nuke on the left side to add what day it is, and it basically just is for events mostly, and if you have a couple to-dos, but there's not a lot of space. And then I have obviously my little calendar on the upper left side, and underneath it I have a to-do list, which I didn't do all the way through the bottom of the spread, but it's basically what you could do if you are actually doing this, is to have a complete to-do list all the way at the bottom and use mostly the separate days for the event. But obviously do you and use it whatever you want. And if you recreate any of the spreads, please tag me in your recreation, whether it be on Instagram or on TikTok or anything. Please tag me. I love to see your recreations, and it's always so fun to see. And we are already almost to the end because we are on to the 7th weekly spread, and this one is a little bit more like Tetris style, I would say. It didn't take me that long to do. It was probably one of the easiest one. Basically, you could do a complete grid of the whole page, and I got rid of 2 boxes, but you could basically get rid of any of the ones you want, or any space you would want. What I did is get rid of the one at the top corner on the right side to have my mini calendar, and the one on the opposite side, which is the left bottom corner, to have a note section. and then you basically have the space for 7 boxes, one for each one of the days, and they actually are pretty spacious. Keep in mind, if you do this, I have a dingbat notebook which are a little bit wider than typical journals that you can find anywhere else, which means that you might not have as much space for your days. You might be a little bit shorter, but yeah, that's what I did. And for reference, I separated the page into 4.5 centimeters squares, so each one is wide like that, and then for the height I did 6 centimeters, which would be 12 squares, and 4.5 would be 9 squares. I'm not sure about my math, don't quote me on that, I'm not really good at that, but that would be basically how I did it. And then the notes section, I just did lines every other square, just to have like the lines separated and also have a little bit more color. But if you didn't like the idea of having a note section, you could also use that space to just have doodles and have like a theme or something like that. And now we are onto our final weekly spread, and it's probably one of my favorites, honestly. What I did is separate the page into 3 for the right side, which is what you're seeing now, and the top part I used for obviously my mini calendar and write what week it is. And then on the left side I have my event section, which is just basically what I did every single time. I'm not gonna explain it again. And then I did just simple lettering, just cursives for the name of the days, and then drew the line going inward, so I just would have a separation in between the sections. And I just did that also on the other side, but using 4 I did the 3 upper ones and left a bigger section at the bottom for the weekend. For the dimension on the left side, I have 4.5 centimeters at the top, and then the days are 5 centimeters wide. And then on the other side, I did right from the top 5 centimeters for the top ones, and then the last one is the whole thing. And we are already at the end of this video, so I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to leave a like if you like this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!